Hello, my name is Chantal. I'm here to record a video today outlining and describing this thing called what happens if you rape somebody you really like who doesn't know you and also may not actually like you. Yes, if you rape them and steal from them, you're definitely dating after. That's how things work in life. No, I'm sorry to say that unless you have a lot of money, you're very sexually attractive, and she actually cares about you being alive as a person, that's not gonna work. And I know it hurts to hear this, okay, that, look, I'm a hot girl, and I have a lot of skills and talents, and I really have a lot of values and standards, and I'm a very personable person. People want to be friends with me. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so, like, I understand that's not the case for you, and you think that this is like an investment. You know, when you invest in me, like if I do that and like you're still in my life, I am willing to get better and work with you so my life can improve, despite the fact that even if you improved, there's literally no value to you as a whole to society. That's the thing that you need to, this is where the whole check yourself before wreck yourself comes in handy. Okay, so like I get that like you may have like problems, but even if you didn't have those problems, if you have a lot of money, it still wouldn't change who you are as a person. Do you understand? Like, and honestly, because you did that prior to actually having your shit together, as in like you didn't even like, you don't have any money, you don't have any savings, like you're not actually better than any other person ever, right? Like there's nobody in the world that you're better than at some aspect, okay? People don't care about you just in a general sense, like they don't really care if you're alive or dead, right? And it's like, okay, I get that, like it makes you feel unimportant, that you're not the king or queen of the world, and that you're not in charge of everyone, right? Like it feels good to be in that position because it means that you are valued to society and people like having you around, and that's called social acceptance. When people are not socially accepted, typically what people do, what this is what functional people do, they work for social acceptance, right? Like they improve their skill set, they go out and meet new people, they go do things to like become socially acceptable or find people who accept them socially, so they're part of a group somehow. But when people don't do that and instead sit and complain and come up with like a bunch of reasons as to why this is like not okay, blah 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 blah, like, it's like, okay, like I understand you want people to see you as like this awful person and you can turn it around if you just help me. You're begging them, you're a beggar, you're a street beggar, you're begging them for their time and their money and their energy and their skills for no reason other than you think you deserve to be treated very well, even though you can be an absolute piece of shit and make yourself feel better that way. Right? Like, I know how you're thinking, like, oh, she's such a good person, but if I treat her like crap, and if I personally treat her like she's valueless, that means that, no, I don't care about her, even though she's so worth it. Like, I don't give a shit about her, and other people are gonna see that it doesn't matter if she's in my life or not, and then they're gonna be like, oh my god, you must be, like, very important. Do you see how dumb that is? That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. It's like, you think other people are gonna think you're an important person because you mistreat people? That's the people are gonna, this is why nobody cares about you, because you're like that. Do you understand? Like, you think that way. That's why people don't care about you. It's hard to get along with people who don't treat people very well. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just like the idea of mistreating someone, and not only that, in none of those thought processes were anything about the other person. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you 100% did not care about the other person. It was all about you. And it's fine if you're going about improving yourself, you're working on yourself. But when you actually include another person into your life, that's when you have to actively think about the other person. Right? Like, I understand you have obligations, because people are obligated to you just through blood relations, right? And there's some people who have to put up with you. But not everyone's like that. And the fact that you don't understand this is kind of the part that makes people stay away from you, like you're like a social pariah. Because people get this kind of stuff when they're 5 years old. right? Before they even head out to kindergarten, people already understand this concept. They're like, yeah, I know, that's my mom, that's my siblings, that's my neighbor, and that's my classmate. They know already the distinction between the social groupings. Very simple when you're a kid, right? That's my mom, that's my neighbor, that's my classmate. There's no like other relationship apart from that, right? And then when they get older, they're like, oh, that's my friend, oh, that's my girlfriend, that's my boyfriend, oh, that's my acquaintance, that's my classmate, that's my coworker, that's my boss, that's my cousin, that's my aunt, that's my um mom, that's my dad, my brother or sister. Like that kind of stuff gets more distinguishable as a person gets older, because as you get older you experience more things, and those experiences translate to like a better understanding of human relationships as a whole, right? And the fact that you are past the age of 5 and you don't understand this is what's keeping people away from you. It's like they don't want to put up with you. I'm sorry, they don't want to sit down, and it'll be incredibly condescending, and they might even be rude about saying it because they shouldn't have to explain this to you, right? Like your parents should have explained this to you. The fact that somebody else has to do their job is already pissing them off, thus they're gonna be rude to you. It's condescending because, well, you're being treated as if you're an infant, right? And that's condescending because you're not, like, you're at the skill set and capabilities. Well, you should be at somebody who's not an infant, but then they're gonna talk to you and treat you as if you're an infant because you don't get this by now. Do you understand? Like, that makes you feel offended and like upset, right? Because the people are being condescending to you. But the only reason they're being condescending to you is because you're an idiot, right? You're a social pariah. People don't like you because you don't understand how you know what? You don't need to go to school for this. People who drop out of high school, people who have problems at school, problems at home, they already understand this kind of stuff, right? They know the differences between the social groups and social relationships. Whereas you, who claim to be better than everybody, who don't need to understand this kind of stuff, you're saying you already understand it, yet you don't understand why people don't want to be friends with you, why people don't want to date you, why don't people want to be near you, right? It's like, it's because of what you're doing. Like, why are you mistreating, you're bullying other people. Again, if you're bullying people, it causes people to stay the fuck away from you. Do you understand? Like, people don't want to be near people who harass other people all the time because of all the legal problems that they face when they're involved with that person. And you know what? Most of the time, they have people in their life that are already like that. Typically relatives, or like their neighbors, or their, like, maybe a coworker or something. Like, they already have to worry about all that kind of stuff. Possibly a client, right? And they have to worry about all that kind of stuff, and they don't want to worry about that. Do you understand? Like, they're like, I already have a lot on my plate. Like, I don't have an extra time and energy to spend on somebody who's not, like, I know it seems cold, but who's not directly contributing to me. Right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's like, okay, like, this person is like, let's say this guy, like, I'm taking Waleed for an example. Okay, so he's like this, he's a sack of shit. He's worked as a cop for the past how many years, doesn't have any social contacts, has no social life outside of sexual relationships, and he does have sex with people for money, right? And he likes to steal and rape and cheat people based on their race. He believes people should be treated based on the racial discrimination, which is actually basically 2-year-old logic. That's what 2-year-olds think like. Like, they don't. This is when people first start learning about different people and different things, right? When you first learn, you need to be able to categorize things to be able to understand the differences between different objects. That's how your brain, it triggers the learning sensors in your brain to say, like, okay, these people are different. This is the same type. This is a different type. Kind of like, yeah, I know all of these carrots look different, but I know they're carrots. I know what they taste like, and I know what that's for. You can eat it. It's not gonna hurt me, right? Like, that's how people categorize things when they're very, very, very young. So I'm talking like 6 months to 2 years of age. That's when they start learning about this kind of stuff, right? Like, an infant's not gonna really understand, like, okay, these are all different shaped and colored blocks, but they're made from the same material, right? Like, it's made from the same tree, just cut into different shapes and painted different color. These are all paints, but they're different. They're not called different things. They're all paints, but they have different colors. The colors have different names in it. So this is objectively categorizing and identifying objects in the 3-dimensional space is how people start learning. That's kind of how you navigate the entire globe, right? Like you can't really navigate if you can't understand what you're looking at, right? You don't know where you're going, you don't know what things are. Blah, blah, blah. This is what I mean. Like he's very racist. He rapes people. He thinks it's okay to steal from people that he doesn't like, and those likes are actually based off of him feeling insecure. So he doesn't like you if you make him feel insecure because you're better than he is. So his response, right, is to make you feel like less of a person, and he thinks that's the way to make somebody feel like less of a person is to bully that person. That's not making them feel worse about themselves, it's making them hate that person. And it's actually causing negative emotional responses in regards to that person's existence near them, in their personal visual sphere. Do you understand? Like, it's kind of like they don't hate themselves, they hate you, right? And they don't hate the fact that they're alive, and they don't feel bad about themselves. They just feel bad about the fact that they have to put up with you. So they're feeling sorry for themselves, right? This is a lot of times I feel this way too. I feel sorry for myself all the time. Like, I'm pitying myself because I have to put up with this piece of shit. He thinks we're the same, and I can't even tell him off because I don't know how he's gonna respond when I tell him, you're absolutely completely out of my league. Like, honestly, like, you know how out of league you are? Like, honestly, like, I'm at the top of the Himalayas, and you live right at the fucking, like, on the sandy beaches of Lakeshore. Right? That's how the difference in leagues. Like, you're playing at the fucking Little League, and I'm already, like, at World Cup status. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a professional soccer player, whereas the best you can do is probably volunteer as a coach on the off times for your relatives. Like, not even for their team, like, just for that specific relative, you can kind of volunteer for that person. Like, to coach that person just on their off time when they're not actually, like, if that person doesn't have any teammates. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm so out of your league that, like, or you're so out of my league that I won't even be able to find you, even if we're in the same field. Do you get that? Like, I have no idea how to say this. Like, most people understand this, okay? They don't actually actively seek out people who are doing worse than they are, or people who aren't going to be receptive or positively responding to their invitation of socialization. Right? It's like, okay, if I ask this person's not gonna say no. How do you know this? You look at them, you see what they are, you see what you're like, and you can kind of measure it out from there. Right? Like, oh yeah, I'm a really pretty girl, and that guy is, like, a famous guy. They're not gonna say no to a very pretty girl because it's kind of like an ego boost. Do you understand? Like, that kind of stuff people have a hard time understanding if they're like Waleed. Stupid, racist, and does criminal activities just because he thinks it's cool. Like, his values are all skewed up. He has no moral compass, and he has no idea what he's doing with his life. Now, on top of that, he doesn't recognize what other people are. He doesn't know what they do, he doesn't know what those things are for, and he doesn't know why people do those things. Those things are completely, like, out of his mind. He just doesn't know any of it. He doesn't understand what those things are for. He doesn't know why it's important to have good relationships. He doesn't know why other people judge him for the things that he's doing. Right? It's like people are judging you because they're seeing what the type of person you are and how you're responding in that situation. And that extrapolates to you responding differently in a different situation. So they're doing kind of like a cost-benefit analysis just from that interaction. And based on their assessment, they are now saying that you, from a cost-benefit point of view, are not worth having in their social life. It's just too much money to maintain you, and you're not even responding correctly. It's like having a busted car. You know, that relationship is like literally like a busted car. I have to take it to the mechanic every fucking week when I can just, like, scrap it, put it in the junkyard, and buy a new car. Literally, like, me buying that new car will save me more money in the long run than me keeping that busted old car, the junkyard scrap, that keeps on running out of gas too quickly. Every time the chassis is always off for some reason, and none of the steering is always off because the chassis is fucked up, and none of the car tires are, like, the treads are wearing out at different rates. right? It's like, okay, why, like, I didn't even drive this car that long, and why are the treads all, like, fucked up? Do you understand? Like, because the chassis is all fucked up, right? So it's like, not only are the tires wearing out different rates, which is impacting the ability to drive that car efficiently, the steering is gonna be fucked up, and because of it, like, it wastes more gas than it actually needs, and it keeps on breaking down because of it, right? Like, it's just hard to maintain it. It seems like it's one of those, like, oh, you know, like, I really like this car, but you just look like a cheap asshole. You know what? You look like a fucking cheapskate. When you could have just put that in the junkyard and buy a new car, and in the long run, you don't have to go to the mechanic every fucking week. Oh, I'm sorry, my car. And then they're like telling you, please just put it in the junkyard. You know, what the fuck are you gonna do with the fucking scrapper junk? You're expecting this to last the next 10 years, really? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And that's what I'm trying to say, is like, guys like that, they don't understand why they're being judged and why people don't like them, why they're like a social pariah. It's like, okay, they just saw you rape and steal an innocent woman. What is it that you think is gonna happen when ... You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so what do you think they're thinking? Just, if you watch that happen to some innocent woman, right, and that guy did that for no reason, because his reasoning is completely nonsense, right? It's inane. He doesn't actually have a justifiable reason to be doing those things, and other people can see that, right? Because people aren't dolls. There's people around, they can observe what you're doing, and they understand what's going on. What do you think they're gonna think? Like, how do you think they're gonna feel? Right? Like, not only is it traumatic because they witnessed a crime, but they're gonna think that you're just a low-life criminal because there's literally no reason for you to have done that. Like, why are you doing that to somebody? And now you're like, gonna go to them or like act as if it didn't happen, which is crazy. And then you're gonna expect them to treat you as if you guys don't know each other when they were literally there watching you do all that fucked up shit for no reason. Do you understand? Like, it's like, okay, so like, you're just gonna like expect people to be on your side completely. Everybody in the world is always gonna be on your side all the time. If they're not, they're just haters, right? And if they're not on your side, then like, you know what, it's always a person's fault. You probably told everyone lies about me, which is why they hate me. And I'm like, so me lying about you overshadows the fact that you actually did those bad things. Let's say I did actually go and lie about you. So whatever I said about you was untrue is gonna be overshadowing the fact that you were legitimately guilty of those criminal offenses. And social offenses, rather. You're taking advantage of somebody. This person you don't know has no reason to say no to you. You're actively taking advantage of that person because you think it's okay to do that, because you think everything is a one-time thing, which is what led to you not being able to make any friends. Every person you met who was a potential friend, you drove away. You drive them right out of your life, and then you sit down and cry about why nobody likes you, nobody wants to be around you. And then you expect everyone else around you to always take your side and then say that, oh, I'm so like sad because nobody wants to be my friend because I'm a piece of shit. Everybody that I met so far in my life I've either abused or used or didn't give a shit about, and I just expected them to continue to be in my life without actually doing any input in it. I didn't do any work behind it. I didn't actually actively keep in contact. I didn't do any of those things, right? But I'm expecting people to do those for me because everyone owes me a favor. You owe me one, you owe me one, you owe me one, even though they don't even know me and we've never met and there's no reason for them to owe me. But you all owe me anyway. Do you understand? Like, that's so annoying, is it not? It's so fucking annoying. It's like, okay, and this guy, he's in his 40s. He still doesn't get it. I know there's so many articles online saying, you know, narcissistic personality disorder people, they get better in their 40s. They don't. That's typically with histrionic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. Borderline only if it's been treated. Histrionic, you can kind of leave it alone. As long as you're seeing a psychiatrist and they're on medication, and they'll typically get better by middle age and later. Unfortunately, not the case with borderline. You need treatment for it. With narcissistic personality disorder, those are like nearly impossible to treat, because the values that they're looking at, it does exist and there is meaning to it, but for that person there's no meaning. But that's something that they have to understand on their own, like within themselves, and there's nothing any therapy can do for that person to get them to understand, look, you're right, money does mean something, and yeah, you're right, there is social status in association with the wealth that is being acquired. But what you're wrong about is that you're basing it off of that instead of understanding, even though they make the same amount of income, the earning is the same, they're not the same person. Even though those two work the same jobs and is behaving exactly the same way, they're not the same person. Right? Their value to society is not the same. And this kind of part is like hard to understand for people like Waleed, who's in his 40s and doesn't get any of this shit because he's retarded, okay? I think he might be retarded. Or he has like Alzheimer's or something. There's something wrong with his brain internally. Like, I think he might actually be his brain is physically ill. Like, if you actually took a look of a scan of a healthy brain and Waleed's brain, there's a huge contrasting difference between a healthy brain and his brain. Right? Like, because your brain is still an organ, right? You still have to look after your brain and make sure that it's being, like, mentally exercised. Alright? Like, unhealthy things include accepting and thinking things that are healthy when it's not, or saying that it's fine for you when it's not. Like, neglecting your emotional health and thinking about things in a very contradicting or counterintuitive or counterproductive way, as in, you know, most of it is to hurt other people for no reason. This is what people might mean by hurting other people. Right? Hurting other people means that you are actively putting them at risk, you are actively damaging the property of that person, emotionally, mentally, or like, you know, telling them the wrong things when they trust you, or like physically, like could be sexual or physical assault. That kind of stuff is called hurting somebody, right? When you hurt people, what you get back is just ignorance. So you don't get any kind of like responses back from anybody else because people are just gonna start ignoring you. This is a reality of the situation, right? People don't care about you after you do that kind of stuff, and it's really hard to get people to care about you. It's just, let's say the whole legal system didn't exist, right? None of that kind of stuff existed, and everybody's doing things in an effort to get resources or maintain their resources, right? If that's true, then why would another person have any need to have you in their life or keep you in their society that they're already overseeing? Now, it's not like that anymore because this isn't the feudal ages, this isn't the caveman days. There's actual legal systems that's actually benefiting more so than going about that way. That's not the old world, that's just ancient, that's dinosaur age. That's like, you know, the stuff you see in anthropology museums, like that kind of stuff. That's not like what people do anymore. If they did that, I mean, we wouldn't have internet or phones or I just go so much. That's nasty. Or like telephones or like computers or like water bottles. Yes, due to human engineering, we have now water in a plastic bottle they can drink out of. It works. But yeah, guys like that, they don't understand this because, like, I mean, it's too late by that point. That's the thing with MPD. By the time you're 40s and you haven't gotten your shit together, like, they just dismiss it as, like, a terminal illness. I'm sorry, you're never gonna get better. Like, it's just, how are you gonna make up for all the stupid shit you did until that point? You're gonna make up for 40 years of mistakes. And you're already, like, what, 40, 45? Okay, so what's the next 40 years? You're gonna be slaving away for the next 40 years? 30 to 40 years just to make up for all of the stupid shit you did and making sure you never do it again. Like, you have that much of an understanding in yourself. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't. Like, by the time you hit 60, your body's gonna start failing, right? Like, your posture's gonna go away, and like your hair's gonna start falling out, and like, your teeth are gonna start falling out. You can't even work anymore by the time you're 65. Right? Okay, so after that, what you're gonna do? You're gonna use up all of your savings that you managed to save up for yourself on making amends for all those people that you should be doing, but how are you gonna live? Right? You're just gonna live in debt. You think people are gonna let you live in debt? I mean, what happened? What do you think happens? You don't hear reports and all those numerous news sources citing elderly abuse, elderly abuse. What do you think happens when you're at that age, you don't have any money and nobody wants to look after you because you have no family, or your family just completely ignores you and puts you in a home? Like, oh yeah, they're gonna help you pay back your debt without ever for feeling angry at you for it, right? They're like, oh, you piece of shit. Yo, I could have gone on vacation with that money, but now I have to help you out because we're blood related. I fucking hate you for it, you know that? I've been planning on this vacation for the last 5 years, and I even booked I know, it was all cancel all that because of you, fucking stupid asshole. And then they're gonna put you in a home, and then what do you think is gonna happen there? They can already tell everyone hates you because, well, probably because you're a piece of shit, right? The workers are very smart because they're working in an elderly home. They're literally personal support workers. You don't need to finish high school for that shit. What else? They're probably gonna put you in the cheapest home possible. They don't want to spend money on you. It's not like they have that much money and they already hate you, even if they could spend more money on you, for ruining their vacation. Right? You fucking ruined my fucking vacation plans. Fuck you. So they put you at the worst home possible, or the best home in the worst area. The worst part of town, that's the best thing you can get. Yeah, that's where they're gonna put you when you're like 65, can't walk on your own, and have a bunch of people like yell at you all day. Yeah, I don't know, they're probably gonna siphon your pension money out of you somehow. And like, I don't know why you'd want to live like that. I know people with MPD have delusional beliefs. They're like, my life's not gonna be like that. They can't do anything to me. What are you gonna do? Huh? Put me in a shitty home and watch you siphon money out of me while I'm still living there and eating, and that's not gonna affect my health or anything at all. I'm like, are you insane? That's fucking retarded. Yeah, things don't work like that. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But yeah, that's what that is. Like, if you're wondering, like, how do I turn it around? Like, how do I improve my life and blah blah blah. Look, these social skills, such as like, you know Wally, the loser? He wants to get with a hot girl. How are you gonna do that? Literally, like, when you're gonna rape her and steal from her, and that's gonna persuade her to being with you, because life is a Stephen King book, right? That's Stephen King novels. That's literally every single book he's ever written about any romantic relationship. It was that thing that Wally thought was real is a Stephen King novel. Okay? It's like, okay, this guy's a piece of shit and he's a criminal, and he's like doing that because he wants her to feel like shit about himself, so she'll never leave him ever. Her self-esteem is so low that she actually, and also not only is it so low, but she values relationships. So if she doesn't have a man, she feels like crap out of herself every fucking time because her life is only valuable because she has a man in her life. And then there comes a guy and he's like, I only care about, like, you know what, I know I'm doing all these criminal activities to you, but literally I have no time for anything else. I'm basically your man. Don't ever leave me, but I'm gonna let you know that by threatening you and raping you and having you completely defenseless and shaking in fear of everyone at any point. I think that novel was called Misery. They even made a movie about it. But yeah, that's a fucking Stephen King novel. I'm like, yeah, I get that, like, you're trying to be cute, but like, dude, you fucking stole from my stuff and raped me and I don't even know you. But you see me on the street, you think I'm hot, and you think every hot girl wants to be with you? Oh yeah, I stalked you online, I found out that you like these things, and I'm just gonna do it without your consent. And then you'll be with me, right? And I'm like, what? Excuse me? Are you like, is there something, are you brain damaged? Like, did somebody get did you get your shit beaten out of you, and then you just thought that was a good idea? Right? Like, somebody whacked you on the head one too many times, and all of a sudden you think that's a good idea? Yeah, because me, a hot girl with her shit together, and who has a bright future, wants to be with a complete loser who's never gonna get anywhere in life, and the only reason, like, I should keep you around because why? Oh, you can afford it. Like, if you have me around, you can make other friends and stuff. I'm like, I can't, because people are gonna stay away from me specifically because you're in my life. And then you're gonna start mooching off of everyone else I know because you know me. Or you're gonna interfere with my life so significantly that you're gonna force me to ask them to help me out so you can still live off me somehow. Through people that I know? What, are you a fucking parasite or something? Are you insane? Like, will you think that's possible for you? What, are you that hot of a guy? Like, you're fucking Adonis. Like, you are the epitome of what men should look like. Not only that, but you're so personable. And in fact, if you did that, it wouldn't even be a parasite. I would consider you my pet. Because you are so good looking, you're so personable, and you have so many talents in life, and so many skills. Like, I don't have to teach you anything, you just pick everything up on your own. I'm just, it's so good. You know, everything is so good with you, man. The only thing you need is my help in acquiring your material wealth. Wow. If that was true, I'd be literally like, I know people say those are thieves all the time, but excuse me, if that was true, then I wouldn't be hating you. I wouldn't hate you. Literally, I would want to be near you. I would make sure that you're in my life. I'd be keeping contact with you. Or anyway, excuse me, to keep in contact with you. Oh my god, it's fucking allergies. No, I don't like you because you did that. And some other idiot managed to find me, and I'm like, how did you find my fucking Facebook? And I find out that like, all the guys who were involved, like the guys who owe me a lot of money who ended up in prison, Raph and Daniel Coe and all those people who thought I was them. Yeah, they thought that they were me. Like, they were blaming me for how badly their life was going on, the fact that they were lying about me. And I actually wasn't like that. But they knew it was a lie, and they started to lie about everybody, and then told everyone that like I was like that person. And I'm like, that, you know, that's called a hate crime, right? And I'm sorry, it's a literal hate crime because none of you are Korean. Yeah, ethnically and racially you're listed as Canadian, and ethnically you're all Chinese. Not a single one of you is Korean. Even if you're ethnically Korean, your legal status is Canadian, so still a hate crime based on racial discrimination. Right? Like, it's just, and if not racial, oh my god, financial discrimination, family discrimination, lack of, like, poverty, you know, hating poor people or something. It's just weird. They're the poor ones, that's the thing. Like, you're just poor people with money. I know, like, I know people want to believe that, like, you can change your social class, you can change your wealth status, you can change your social group as long as you have a lot of money, right? You can just pay your way out of everything, right? Like, it doesn't matter all those skills and talents and the way you treat other people. That kind of stuff doesn't matter as long as you have money. I'm like, yeah, if you believe that, somebody's literally conned you out of your entire life. They've scammed the shit out of you just so they can make money off of you. Yeah, that's called a scam. I don't understand why you would even... Why do you think that kind of stuff is okay? Like, you know that's not okay, and you're like expecting people to accept you now because you fucked up and you think it's okay to go to the person you fucked up with? Oh, I'm sorry I fucked up. Like, I just realized that you're actually a good person and, like, you're the only person worth keeping in my life. Wanna be friends now? Like, I know I stole from you and lied about you and, like, it's affected your job and employment and, like, how other people perceive you and how everyone just is now looking for a reason to, like, get back at you because I said some stupid shit wasn't even true. Like, I'm so sorry about that. Do you wanna be friends now? And I'm like, no. Obviously not. You are a crazy person, and the only reason that I ever put up with you was because I didn't actually know you. Do you understand this? Like, that's so great. You meet somebody, you don't actually know them, and you can actually be a good person to that person. That's like... I don't know why people make it seem like it's cheating somebody. It's not. Yeah, I know you all that did that stupid crappy stuff before. Whatever. Somebody's putting targeted ads of saying that I need to clean my ears or something, and I'm like, are you sure it's me? Did I see this? Yeah, I'm like, okay, look, honestly, no one in the entire world is gonna, like, if you do that, like, you fucked up with somebody and then you go back to them and then you're like, can you please forgive me now? Everyone's gonna think you're an idiot. Okay, so like, they've been begging me on the streets and through other homeless people. I'm like, look, just look at what you're doing. Like, look, do you hear yourself? You're asking homeless people who live in the homeless shelters to do stuff for you. Those are the people that you're employing and you're hiring, and those are people that you know. And you think that it's okay for you to be considering yourself as a better person. And like, it's like, okay, you already fucked up with me, and I'm okay with that. Because I can't change that reality. Like, no matter how hard things get, I can't change the fact that you already did that, right? And I'm not gonna try to pretend that it didn't happen, because it did. And that's definitely gonna affect your relationship, as in, we no longer have a relationship with each other because of what you did. Because it's not viable for me to keep somebody in my life who has hurt me. And no, I'm not saying you can't change, but you already did that to me. But the thing is, you learned a lot with what happened with me and you, so you can use that for a different relationship. Do you understand? Like, you can go to somebody else, you can meet new people, and you can talk about that kind of stuff. Say like, yeah, I really fucked up and I did something really stupid in my life, and I learned a lot from it, and I just realized I'm not going to do that kind of stuff again, and I don't really expect her to like forgive me, but I'm here like just like introduce myself, and like I still want to go out and meet new people. I know that's lame, and I know everyone's gonna hate you immediately, and I know you're not gonna find anyone to put up with your bullshit ever again, right? But the truth is, if you do that, sooner or later, someone's gonna be okay with you, right? Someone's gonna be in the same spot as you are, and they're gonna feel just as crappy as you, and they're gonna relate to you on a level that other people can't be relating to you with, and that's when you make your friend. Sooner or later, you're gonna meet somebody who's just as lame as you, right? Someone who's just of a parasite, just of a piece of shit as you are, who's not gonna do that kind of stuff, but that's how you lived your life. Your entire life was trying to mooch off other people and making sure that people who were better than you were doing worse than you were, just terrorizing people. You were being a piece of shit. And thus, you now learn from your lesson, realize that you can do better things. Like, people are still gonna employ you, that's a good thing, if you have any skills and talents and experience. And in the case that you don't, somebody might employ you as a favor for your family, or do you a solid and say like, you know what, you might actually need the money, and I don't want no more homeless people running around the street. Even if you're still homeless, at least you're not begging people for money on the street. If you're smart enough to do that, not do that, you know what, fuck it, I'll give you a job as a stock boy or like a fucking grocer or something. Like, just stay there. Just don't do anything. It's your job, and go home and do whatever the fuck you want. Sooner or later, you're gonna meet people just like you, right? I mean, probably not at work, but like, you're gonna go out in your life and you're gonna meet somebody who does the same exact kind of stupid shit you did, and you can all be friends, right? You can just go to bars and like have people hesitantly accept your money because they're like, yeah, I know who the boss is. Like, I know that you work there. Like, yeah, you can come over here for your money or something, but like, most of the time people won't even be there while you're there. Do you understand? Like, that's how bad it's gonna get. No one's gonna want to be around you. Right? And it's like, obviously, like, it's gonna restrict your ability to make friends, because in the case that anybody knows what you did and can't support you in any way, shape, or form, and like just wants to stay the fuck away from you or your friends, you're just restricted to hanging out with those people, just that specific tight group of inner circle people, you know what I mean? Those are the only people you're ever gonna be friends with. That's gonna be the people that you die with, you know? You won't die alone. You'll be around with other piece of shits, living together, being a piece of shit. I mean, at the end of the day, you have friends, and you've learned from your mistakes, and that's the type of life some people live. Like, you don't have to feel bad about yourself because you didn't live your ideal life by doing the opposite of what people who live that kind of life do. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? Like, Waleed thinks that he's living a superstar rockstar life, right? When in reality, he's being a sack of shit and he's living a parasite life. But people with NPD don't understand this. He doesn't live a good life, but he thinks he lives an amazing life, right? He's like, I can do whatever I want. I still haven't faced the consequences of my actions because he's high all the time, right? He's smoking crack. He doesn't understand how things are affecting him, but he's smoking crack to remedy the fact that he doesn't feel good about what he's doing. But instead of, this is what normal people do, okay? Oh shit, I don't feel good about doing this kind of shit. I should stop doing that and do something else. It makes me feel like a piece of shit for doing this. You know what I mean? That's what most people do. Like, you know, same people, they're like, oh, stealing from other people makes me feel like a piece of crap. I don't want to steal anymore. Thus, I don't feel like a piece of crap anymore because I don't do that kind of stuff. Right? And then thus, for sooner, like, you know what I mean? Like, most sane people understand this. They learn from this. He's not sane. He's really stupid. Right? And he's mentally ill, and he tries to excuse this by saying it's not him, it's somebody else. I don't know if he's mentally ill, honestly. I think he's just an idiot. Oh, he didn't do something right. And he's treating me like as if I'm the pariah because he doesn't feel secure in the fact that I'm better than him and I'm younger than him. Do you understand? That doesn't make any sense. Like, your reason for mistreating me is because, oh, there was some girl right there. She's like accusing me of like doing some weird shit. I can feel it because she did some stupid shit in her life, and apparently it's somebody else's fault. Because there's no way that she made any mistakes in her life, which led to her being the type of person she is. If that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, he just did some stupid shit, right? Like, people like Waleed, right? And there's no way for him to understand that. Okay, anyway, look, the point is, he's never gonna understand that, like, it's when he does understand that, like, things could have turned out differently, he's gonna hate himself for it, and most of the time, people end up killing themselves because of it. They're like, I hate myself for what I did. Also, there's another, like, homeless guy who... and what ended up happening was, like, there's another homeless guy, and they think that, like, they can do whatever they want to me because I'm not white. And I don't know anybody that they know. I'm like, you think it's okay for you to mistreat me because I'm not white? And then I'm gonna accept you into my life, and I'm gonna treat you as, like, a god you are. Right? That's why. I'm like, oh my god, you think I'm okay? Like, you think it's okay to bully me continuously and harass me to the end of days? Because you personally feel insecure about who you are. Yet there was a group of people bullying me since I was like 15. And I'm like, you guys need to leave me alone. Literally, it started at elementary school and never ended since then because they all somehow knew each other. And all the way throughout my university, I still had them follow me and bully me. And I'm like, when are you gonna understand that this is literally making your life worse? Through what you did, you lost everything. You lost your job, nobody wants to be near you guys, and everyone thinks you're lame. Because you are, and you owe me so much money, and there's no way you can make up for any of the shit you did, and you're already in your 30s by now. Even if you did, by the time you made it up to me, you'd be retirement age, and I'm not even gonna stay in this country, so that's not even possible. I know that's what government of Canada was trying to do, like, force me to live here, so people who fucked up can, like, make it up to me while I stay here, be miserable about stuff that shouldn't have even happened years ago. Right? And I'm like, yeah, I understand that's how you feel about your own mistakes. Like, you realize that you shouldn't have done that years ago, and you see how it's affecting you now. But I don't understand why I have to feel the way you do because I didn't make any mistakes in life. because I'm not white. Yeah, that's called bullying somebody. You know better than these guys, and you're literally harassing me. And this is also technically because you work for the government and your government employees are doing this. It's a war crime and a hate crime all in one. So what do you want me to tell you? It's okay, you can treat me whatever you want, and I'm not gonna say anything, and I'm not gonna do anything because, it was my fault. I'm like, none of this was my fault. I don't know why you're trying to convince me that it was. It's completely inappropriate. And for whatever reason, you think it's okay. This is what the police were saying. They were literally saying that I actually stole from them, and then they told people that they can steal from me. And it was screwing everyone over, and I'm like, I never stole a goddamn thing from you. I'm sorry, did I actually receive money from you to purchase these products? I did not. Did you pay me money to purchase them for you? You did not. Did you actually give me money to purchase something for you? You did not. You didn't do any of that kind of shit. Right? So what is it? How are my things yours again? Because you saw me have things that you wanted, thus it's mine because I'm not white. Only white people are allowed to hold property here, right? I'm just like, you're insane. Literally, like, you guys are straight up fucking insane. I have no idea how anybody puts up with you. And because of the fact that you keep treating your own citizens like this, no other country wants to have any diplomatic relations with you, which is affecting other citizens who's actually living here. And anybody who's worth a damn, you actively abuse so they can't even leave the country. So you can smooch and steal more things off of them. That's not a country. That's a fucking crime. You're just a terrorist. You're a bunch of Jews. I'm just like, what the fuck is that shit? And you think no one else cares about this because you don't care about it. No one cares about the fact that you're screwing people over by giving them stolen shit and telling them it was legitimate. No, and you have enough back, you have enough guns and you have enough armies and military and diplomatic relations to fight off people who actually want to kill you because you did that shit and it's affecting other people. They don't want to kill you over it. Like, even if they did, what are they gonna do, huh? Come and shoot you in the middle of the night? No, because you have so much fucking military defense here, right? Like, you have so many people who are actively wanting you alive. Not like everybody in the entire world wants you dead. Right? Because if everybody in the entire world wants you dead, it means you're the bad guy, you're the strong one. No. Bad guy means you're the weak one, you're the weakest link in society. Okay, people want to get rid of you. That's why you're bad. You're a bad person. People want to get rid of you because you're weak. You're a weak link. You can contribute nothing to society, and you can't even be relied on for retrieving a bag of flour from the store. If I give you $5 to purchase a bag of flour and bring it back to me, you would fuck it up somehow. Literally, I can't even trust you to do that. I could give you I'll give you $20. Can you please go and get me a pack of cigarettes? I will not hear from you for another week and you'll completely have forgotten that I gave you $20 somehow magically, and there was I won't get my $20 back. I don't know where the fuck the cigarettes went. I'm like, did you spend that $20 or did you not? Like, if you did for the cigarettes, where the fuck are they? Where's my change? Where's the receipt? Like, what is that? I asked you for a very simple task. It's so simple. You just walk down the street, go to any store. You can go to a gas station if you want. Purchase a pack of cigarettes that I gave you with that money. You know what? You can keep the change, buy whatever you want for yourself, and then bring it back to me. You will fuck that shit up because you're an idiot and you're the bad guy and you think that's a good thing. Like, do you not understand what that means? Like, do you not hear yourself when you think that way? And there's like, Wally's the type of guy, because he's a hypocrite, he does that to test other people, but he's the type of guy that'll fuck it up if you actually trust him for anything, because he thinks his social life is worth ruining for little pennies at a time, because it's annoying to other people, and that means he's better than them. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a fucking crackhead if I ever heard one. But like, yeah, that's what Tiffany was like too, and that's what the Foster family was like. I'm like, why are you even living here? Like, how are you not in prison by now? Like, how is the government paying you guys money to make a living here? It just makes no sense. I was just like, ugh. I just got what I was doing, which is being a perfect angel and a beacon of a model citizen that the government can't actually afford to hire me for any of the stuff because they can't actually afford to keep me employed for that long. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, yeah, my actual services and skills are worth like your generation's life. I'm sorry, I know your entire family generation is worth like $5 million. Yeah, that has how much I make in like a week. I'm not even gonna lie, that's literally how much you owe me if I actually worked for you and did actually all that work. Like, you owe me, like, that's how my salary, like, $5 million a week. You can't even afford that. Like, who here makes that much money? No one makes $1 million in Canada because they do that kind of shit. And they cry about it all the time. They're like, why is nobody hiring me for, like, more than this? Because you don't have the skills for it. I'm so sorry. Oh, also, I just as a side note, if you're wondering how to be a better musician, it's not like the actual, like, you won't be able to hear yourself if you have like no morals and no standards. Like, that's so funny because, like, I guess a lot of people were trying to, I mean, I only picked this up because this woman was trying to mislead me, but like a lot of people think that has nothing to do with each other, but in reality, you know what, if you can't, like, you know how you're hearing is a part of your brain, and what you're hearing is called perception, right? So there's actual the vibrations in the air that causes these cilias in your hair to vibrate, right? And those vibrations get travels within the ear canal into your brain, right? And those neuronal signals are detected in your brain and it triggers some sort of responses in your brain so you can detect it, right? So I can detect. I know what that means. I know what that's like. Signals is trying to say. What is it? One part is being able to physically hear. The other part is the perception of said noise. So what's that noise? Where's it coming from? And why is it making that noise? That kind of stuff. That's part of your hearing. Right? Like, can you hear yourself? Do you hear the tone of your voice? Do you hear this kind of stuff? If you don't understand that, like, why are, like, the tone of people's voices and blah blah blah, like, if you don't understand that yourself, how are you gonna be able to play any musical instrument? Do you understand? Like, it's like, okay, you don't understand how you sound when you talk to people that way, and you don't understand the responses other people are getting. Think of it as an audition, right? That's what it's called, an audition. Think of it as audition. You're auditioning, this is like a public display of your social skills, which is what all socialization really is. Public displays of social skills. Okay? If that's what's happening, right? How are you gonna be a good musician if you're failing the audition test? Like, you don't understand why people are responding that way to you, because, like, you're saying something wrong, or you're saying in the wrong tone of voice. Like, you're not supposed to respond that way, but you don't understand why you're not supposed to respond that way, and you think it's somebody else, and it's just, from an outsider's perspective, it looks like it is a social interaction, but it's really stupid. But you think it's good, right? And you don't understand why other people are treating you badly after it, who saw that kind of stuff happen. And it's like, okay, that's literally why you're bad at music. That's why you can't play any musical instrument, because you don't understand the responses that you're getting from other people based on the things that you're saying. Literally, through your voice, through your speech patterns, and other people's responses. Like, how are you gonna play in public and then you don't understand why people are responding to you that way? They're telling you you're playing badly. Like, why are you playing so badly? Some people are really mean, and they intentionally gas people up to be in that situation. Why? Because they want that person to fail. Do you understand? Like, they're gassing you up to make it seem like you're better than they are, when, like, you're not, like, going, like, they're doing things to indicate that you're very good, but what they're actually doing is hating you. I know there's a comedian, she doesn't understand this, okay? She thinks that if you actually hate somebody, there's no way you can actually make an entire feast for that person. You can't get them a Louis bag to let them know you think they're a piece of shit. I'm like, yes you can. That's literally how you let people know that that guy's a sack of shit and you hate that person or you hate that woman. Bitch, I got you the next season's Louis bag straight off the runway. Never speak to me again. Yeah, that's called being classy about the hate that you're giving to other people. Okay? Anyway, that's with Horowitz, one of the... His name is Vladimir Horowitz. He's a pianist, and people were gassing him up like crazy. And he actually didn't understand why, because his perception, this is his understanding of other people, and pianists in general. He's like, people can't be good pianists because they're either bad, or homosexual, or just lazy or something. He's like, there's only 3 types of pianists: lazy, bad, and homosexual. And I'm like, which category are you? You think every pianist in the world is just as shitty as you, otherwise it doesn't make sense. They have to be just as bad as you. And then they gas that guy up by like attending to his concerts, putting him in Carnegie Hall and all that kind of stuff. They're like, yeah, they were like acting like as if it was a really good show. You know, they're like paying for all these concert tickets. Concert tickets are regularly priced, no discounts, sold out shows all over the world. You know, he gets to travel on an airplane and people, he just like playing his little tune, and then people, and he's like going to all these interviews and all. Well, all the time, people, the reason why they did that was so that they can kind of spot out how well the musicians are doing, or how the fans are doing. So like, it's either you're there because you actually think this guy's good, which means you're a crappy musician, or you're only there because you want to impress other people and you think, oh, he's actually performing in Carnegie Hall, blah blah blah, he must be really good, and you're just trying to look like you know what music's about because you think classical music is classy. And you think that's a high society, hoity-toity. No, yo, I don't wanna go up show up drunk at bars anymore. I wanna spend half of my check on clothes that I can't really afford to replace by showing up to these places to make myself feel like I'm part of this, you know? Yeah, so it's either one of those two, or there's the other group is people who are there just to make fun of that guy because he's legitimately bad at playing piano. But you can't really tell because he actually hates his audience, right? Because those are the 3 types of people that show up to his concerts. So obviously he hates all of them, and he's like, I can't play because I fucking hate playing here for you people. But you wouldn't be able to understand this unless you yourself know what that pianist is saying, which is, I hate myself for not being able to be as good of a musician as other people, and now I'm forcing everyone to be involved in this career that I've selected, and I can't actually be thrown out of it because people are still attending these shows for whatever reason, and it's insulting me because my plays are insulting, and everyone just hates me, and I hate myself. I was like, you sounds like a man-child. That's a fucking overgrown man-child, okay? That's a baby in 85-year-old's body. That's like a 5-year-old, no. It's a fucking 4-month-old baby in a 85-year-old body, continuing to just shit out music. Other people's music, by the way. He's not actually making his own scores. He's not going there and like creating all this. No, he's not even like involved in making pianos and stuff. None of that shit. Just shitting everything out. And then people just watch because some people are completely delusional. They're really, really idiotic, or they're people who are just gassing that guy up because they're like, yo man, you so good, but we secretly hating on you, gang squad up, that kind of stuff. That's millennial shit, I think. I didn't know people do that for ages, but like, yeah, squad. You know when you're like bored with your friends and you're like, bro, we gotta squad up somehow, and then you're like, I hate like having to like, you know, go to like, bro, like I gotta like, I can't keep going up to clubs and like my mom's like getting concerned about my drinking when I go to like some like classy ass place, and then you're like, squad. Oh, he's been stalking me. Oh my god, there's this guy that I matched with on Tinder, and he just like refused to meet me in person. And I was like, why are you like telling me all this stupid fucking bullshit? Like, why are you refusing to meet me in person and getting mad that I'm ignoring you because you're like constantly trying to blow me off? It's like, yeah, we'll meet in September. No, we'll meet here. I'm like, I don't really care, bro. But I'm not even gonna put you in the list of people that I care about or like my priorities because I got other shit to do. I'm sorry, I have other things to do with my life than wait for some guy to like finally get his shit together and be like, I realize that I should be going out with you now. Can you please go on a date with me that I already proposed a year ago? Because I'm just gonna wait until I'm ready for you to be in my life because that's how dating works. Oh, you fucking insane, bro. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, oh, you just, I'm like, yeah, like, cause I don't know how to speak Russian. Okay, then why don't you find somebody who speaks Russian instead of bothering me? Why did you even match with me? If either one of us swiped left, this match wouldn't have been a problem. Okay, if I swipe left or you swipe left, it wouldn't be a problem. I get that some of them were salty that I swiped left on them. And they made new profiles to try to get back at me and lied about it and sent false information on Tinder to the admins to say that, oh my god, she's a bitch and she's just, well, I'm like, I've never even talked to you, like, this match never happened. And they even faked my profile after going through all of those Tinder matches to make it look like I said those things on Tinder. It was insane. I'm like, I'm trying to get back on the dating pool, and not only are the people who were bullying me from my past using that as an excuse to try to get back at me because they said that I'm supposed to bully them back or do something wrong back to them, and it'll be solved that way as if I was their mother or their maid. Maybe they think their moms are their maid. I have no fucking idea. They're very unhealthy friendships and relationships with their families. Or that, like, I was supposed to, like, I don't know, like, report to the police, I was supposed to do this and that. I'm like, how about you kiss my fucking asshole? Kiss my entire asshole, thanks. But yeah, I was like, oh, she's homeless. Fuck. I was like, what is, yeah, she's from the homeless shelter. Yeah, they picked up a bunch of people from the homeless shelter, gassed them up, gave them pretty clothes, and did the whole My Fair Lady bit. Guess a bunch of people got bored. Thanks. Thanks, fellows. Oh my god, my fellow friends and generational cohabitants. For that shit. As if it wasn't gonna affect other people. Wow, way to squad up. Thanks for nothing. But yeah. I didn't do that shit since I was in university, honestly. I'm like, squad up, squad up. Bro, we gotta squad up. We gotta squad, gang, gang. But, yeah, I'm like, it got a lot better in university, I gotta be honest. Like, ever since I've been away from those bullying people, but there's a couple of guys, Justin and Michael, who knew them, who were trying to gang in and join in on the bullying, and their claim is that I didn't know it was bullying. I just thought you actually legitimately thought you did something wrong, which is why people are doing that to you, which is the only way it makes sense. I'm like, did you ever think that maybe, like, the thing you're describing, right? Yeah, there's this really hot girl, but she's such a bitch to all everyone, and she screwed people over, and that's why people are treating her that way. You're describing a movie. That's a fucking movie trope all the time in every fucking romance novel, every romance TV, and every romance movie. They're like, yeah, that like the girl next door. Yeah, that's the entire movie, Girl Next Door with Alicia Cuthbert. Yeah, that's the entire movie. Yeah, she's a hot girl and she's so available, but she fucked up and she did some fucked up shit. Turns out she's a porn star and she sucks dick for money, but it's legal, you know? But, like, you know, that's why, like, people don't really like her. Yeah, that's a fucking movie. I'm like, you're insane. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god, my old professors thought that, like, they could, like, convince me that, like, they actually help when they were actively trying to teach me the wrong things and fucking around with my scantrons. I'm like, how old are you again? Like, aren't you too old to be doing that shit you should be doing when you're like 7 years old and you first go into your first summer camp? It's just weird. Like, kids do that at summer camp all the time. Like, go through other kids' belongings and try to, like, prank each other, like, by, like, haha, I put ketchup in your underwear, haha. Yeah, that's called pranking somebody. Yeah, people do that all the fucking time when they're in, like, camp, grade school camp shit. It's just stupid. It's really stupid. But that's, like, how people start learning how to have fun and, like, start teasing each other and all that kind of stuff. Like, you never been to camp? Never went camping? You never had, like, a camping trip or anything like that? Have you never been to camp? You never had that childhood stuff growing up? The classic camping with your family, getting sent to summer camp, like the whole like, oh, I was forced to like fucking go to lessons and like swimming classes and all that kind of stuff, like all that regular childhood stuff like you guys never did. What are you doing all day? Like staying at home and like making out with your sister? Like just weird. Do you know what I mean? Like what the hell were you doing? Like I just how is your childhood not filled with anything that's normal or relatable? Oh, do you remember the time Dad took us out on camping and you all like got stuck in the rain and everything got soaked and like the car died and cause like he didn't like it was an old car and like and we had to eat McDonald's for a week because of that? I was like fuck, I hated it. Never had anything like that. It's just weird. I just like I have a hard time believing that. I'm like I don't believe you. I don't believe that you never had a normal setting in your entire childhood. You're telling me like you were locked up in your parents' basement and you weren't allowed to do anything. Your parents refused to take you anywhere and you just sat at home all day because your parents had no money but they had a house and they were like struggling to pay the bills, but at least they had a nice house. Just that looks like a fucking advertisement for like, you know, like the show home advertisement, like purchase this property, 2 mil, ready for purchase. That's just a fucking advertisement. I'm like, if you're actually living in a fucking show home, that's like literally the show Arrested Development. Has anyone seen that show? Like, it's fake. People don't actually like that. I mean, you can't afford to live on that property. That's not your property. It means you're renting. And yeah, there's a lot of rental units out there. So maybe if you like, maybe it's not a public rental listing and they're finding people to rent on stuff like there. But it's either their own property or it's a rental. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, those are advertisements. Like, you know what? I know you're struggling to eat, and I know you're struggling to make ends meet. But you know, at least got a nice house now. Like, fuck it. You know, the property taxes, you can pay that off with your job. You don't need any of that because you don't have to worry about a place to live. Honestly, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing. I met Jewish people who did that. Like, they were trying to hide the fact that they were on mortgage. Yeah, and like that they couldn't like afford it, but then they thought like I would want to like associate with them because they had nice things, and I'm like, I don't care about your material valuables because I don't like you as a person. So anything that you're really associated with or any kind of valuables that you have is now worthless garbage shit to me. It's literal human excrement to me because of what you are. You're a piece of shit and everything you own is shit. I don't want anything to do with you. Get the fuck out of my face. Okay, that's how I feel about that. I'm like, there's nothing in the world you can do to convince me to be your friend after that. I already gave you a chance and you're asking me that I should forget about all the awful things you did because you feel like you want to be friends with me. I don't matter in this friendship, just you. That right off the bat is already telling me you're not looking for a friend. You're looking for a fucking investor or like somebody to mooch off of for the rest of your life. I'm not looking for investors with people who don't have more money than me. Like, I'm just like, how are you gonna like, you know what, you're stupider than I am and you want to be my investor? No thank you. Like, what do I look like? Fuck, like, do I look like an idiot? Sorry, does this face look like an idiot to you? Do I look like I don't have my shit together? Yeah, a hot girl who's stupid and doesn't have her shit together is a huge slut. Sounds like a porno. It is a porno. That's literally, I'm pretty sure that's like a fucking stereotypical porno with the blonde bimbo and the guy with a huge dick. And it's like, it's literally porn. Like, you're literally talking about porn in public. Like, how badly is your social life going? You have really nothing else to talk about other than movies and porn. And TV shows and news. Do you not go outside? Like, you don't, like, it's just weird. What do you want me to say to that? Oh, you just literally like I just met you and you start talking about porn and I should be your porn star, your personal porn star for free. That's called rape. Yeah, that's actually called rape. Even if I consented to it, you're supposed to compensate me financially in order for it to be a legitimate porn thing. Unfortunately, because you didn't compensate me with your monies, it's just called rape. Like, are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid or something? Like, what the fuck is that shit? I was just like, what is this? Like, what do you think you're doing? Like, well, no, it's because you're Korean, it's a racial thing. All the white people are in on it, and we're white supremacists. I'm like, I feel like that's the Paul Blart movie, Mall Cop. I saw the poster of it. That's what that looks like. I'm like, are you talking about Paul Blart, the Mall Cop, the Rent-A-Cop movie? Like, it just, you keep talking about movies and think that it's real, and I'm like, movies are fake. We talking about, you want to do a movie with me? No thanks. You can't even distinguish what's real and what's fake. Why would I want to do anything with you? Are you insane? What am I supposed to do? Sit you down and explain to you the differences between everything? And then tell you how to navigate your own social life so I can help you become a better person to be just as good as I am. And then we can all be friends and all your friends can be my friends and we'll be having a happily ever after because this is Cinderella. Right? This is Snow White. This is a Disney princess movie, right? Life is a Disney princess movie. Yeah, we just all help each other get back on our feet and everything's great, happily ever after. Oh my god. Yeah, you know what? You see me struggling. You know that I'm innocent. You know that like nothing's wrong with me. Oh, except those parts aren't true. Right? If it was a Disney movie, then those parts. That's what Disney movie. That's a princess. That's a Disney movie, literally. Like, I gotta be honest, that's a literal Disney movie. Yeah, those princesses did some weird stuff or weren't like did some fucked up shit. I know they don't say that part. Sometimes it's explicitly stated. Such as in the case with Little Mermaid, she's stalking some guy, and now he realizes the value of her and the relationship he has with her, not because he's forced to be near her. It's just that doesn't matter, right? It's literally what they're saying. Like this guy's being forced to be near this fucking chick, and she doesn't care that she's stalking him because she really likes him. Okay, she has ended up with all of his stuff. Somehow ended up in her fucking cave. Like in her room, she filled her room with like it's a shrine of him with his stolen stuff, specifically from Eric. He's the prince, right? And he's like, oh, I'm not gonna like, I'm not planning on killing you. I just want to marry you and live off you for the rest of my life. That's what she's saying. That's in the original story. That was the exact same thing. I want to live off you for the rest of my life, and the way I'm gonna do that is by stealing your stuff so I can catch your attention. Right, so I have your things. It was me that was stealing from you, and then we're gonna get married, and then we can both share your belongings together. Because your family is very wealthy and has enough money for them to support me if we get married. That's Little Mermaid. And Eric has no say in the matter. Why? Because of the fact that he's being forced to be near her. This woman he doesn't even know, she doesn't even find out about all of that kind of stuff until later. You stole from me the entire time? I thought you were some deaf mute idiot who ended up on the fucking shore near my beach house, and I had to help you because if I just left you to die, I'd be an asshole. Everyone would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That would be crazy. I don't actually know you, I just met you, and now you're forcing me to help you. Right? That's called coercion. That right there is coercion. And turns out you were trying to extort money from me that way. Coercion, extortion, and theft. And you're straight up forcing me to marry you now? And she gets some witch involved to try to convince him. Like, oh, don't worry. Like, you have another option. This woman, she sounds just like me. But she's secretly a sea witch. But she's just as pretty and she sounds just like me. I don't talk the entire time. She's the one talking. I'm like, what? What are you trying to say? Like, this is literally insane what you're saying. And they get married and have kids and live happily ever after. In the original story, she killed herself. Because he doesn't want to marry some crazy bitch threatening to kill herself or kill Eric or his social life. Because he refused to do something for some idiot who was stealing from him to begin with. Obviously, he's going to leave her out to die. What do you think happens in reality? Oh, you're stealing from me, and then what? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want me to feel bad for you after you stole from me? Just so that you can get my attention, just so you can live off me? Because you personally feel like I need to marry you despite the fact that we have nothing to do with each other and we don't even know each other. I personally should feel like you are a viable candidate for marriage with me because you feel that way about me and you think it's a good idea for you because you get to live off me. That's what you're thinking. Right? And I have to go along with your plans regardless of whatever you think, whatever you say, through any means necessary, right? Through extortion, coercion, theft, robbery, sexual harassment, actual harassment, like interfering with a person's livelihood, all that kind of stuff is going to result in this man marrying you because he has no opinions or no feelings and no motivations. He's just going to accept that because he can afford it, he can just marry you and all the problems will be going away because, marriage and kids, that solves everything. You guys get married and he's gonna forget about all the shit that you did because he's gonna realize that he's really in love with you the entire time. Right? Like he's gonna get to know you and find out you're not actually a decent person, you just do those bad things to get you guys together because that's the only way you guys were gonna get together. Are you fucking crazy? Oh my god. Like, you guys must be insane. Like, you are literally insane if you think that's true. Snow White, again, it's like, okay. There is a woman, okay, her dad fucked up because he actually just abandoned her. At no point in the movie does she ever blame her dad or go look for her dad. No point in the movie. He abandons her with some wicked woman who's a witch, right? And she only cares about how good she looks. There's a first warning sign. That's how they're describing this witch. She only cares about how good she looks. She doesn't care about anybody else. And the minute that she finds out that Snow White looks better than her, right? She plots to kill Snow White through hiring a contract killer, the huntsman, who leaves her out in the woods. He tells her, I can't actually leave you here. Like, I don't feel so bad. Like, I feel so bad for you that I'm not gonna actually kill you. I'm just gonna, leave you here to die. I'm not gonna legitimately get a knife and kill you. I'm gonna leave you there and you're just gonna die. Yeah, because you're a little baby, like, you don't know anybody, you have no money, and you don't know how to hunt or cook or anything like that. At no point did you ever contact your dad, even though you knew the Wicked Witch was in contact with him. That's a little weird there. And this random guy comes by and just leaves you in the woods and you're just fine with it. And all of a sudden, she keeps on answering the door for some woman who keeps on giving her fucked up shit. Hey, do you want this mirror? No. Hey, you want this apple? I'm like decrepit and I'm old and I'm dying. But you can have my things. Like, you should accept my things for no fucking reason. Right? It's just like, okay, so not only are you abandoned in the middle of woods and you finally found a place to crash at, but at no point are you trying to look for anyone. Any authority figure or your dad, you're not trying to contact anyone to get you out of the situation. Like, it doesn't make any sense what you're saying. And some guy has to come along and save you. Right? Like, this guy comes along and says, oh, you're fucking hot, bro. What the fuck you doing here? I'm gonna fucking bang the shit out of you. You can get married. Done. Your life problems are over because you're married to me now, girl. Don't worry about anything. Oh, what about the Wicked Witch? Don't worry about her. What about the 7? Don't worry about them. What about my dad? Don't worry, man. Like, that kind of problems doesn't matter anymore because we're married now. I feel like that's literally Jackass the movie. Like, isn't that the entire movie? The Jackass movie? It's the entire movie. Just forget about all your problems. You don't have to look for the Wicked Witch anymore because they killed her, man. Yeah, she eats a poison apple, she falls asleep, some guy rapes her while she's sleeping. She wakes up, and she's like, oh shit, I gotta marry you now. After being raped by some guy? After she gets fallen asleep by a poison apple. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Literally, so you're telling me this woman just accepted the fact that she just got abandoned in the middle of the woods, didn't contact anyone. She never at one point contacts anybody. That she knew, she grew up the entire time, she's socially adept, right? Like, she's very, very, has high social skills enough for some guy to come along, rape her, and she still likes him at the end of it. That's how much, that's the level that she's at, right? Socially speaking, sexually experienced, that's the level she's at. And and she doesn't ever contact anyone. Like, she doesn't have any friends, any maids, any people who, none of them protest to anything that's happening there. Nothing's being done about her current situation, which is some woman who has legal authority over this other girl is legitimately killing her. That's murder, right? And no one says anything, and she just completely doesn't know anyone. That's still, the wicked woman is the only woman she's ever known and only person in her entire life. She doesn't know anyone, and she forces her to out, and she gets raped and marries this guy. Sounds like a lesbian porno. Okay, that literally sounds like a lesbian porno. I don't fucking know. Isn't that lesbian porn? It does fucking lesbian porn right there. What else? Sleeping Beauty. Oh, she lives in a castle with all her little maids and servants, and she has to make some clothes one day, and the prick from the needle caused her to fall asleep. And then all these vines grew around her, and some guy comes across his house covered in vines because he heard something happen there, and just goes there and like wakes her up with his kiss. He literally makes out with a dead body, basically. He doesn't know if it's alive or not. And then she wakes up and she says to marry this prince and have him live in her house. That sounds like Paris Hilton. That literally sounds like Paris Hilton. Except Paris Hilton's not a woman. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's just like, it's just nothing. None of it makes sense to me. I'm just like, okay, so Aurora, Princess Aurora, falls asleep in her castle after trying to make some clothes. And then some guy comes along, and then they get married after she wakes up because his kiss woke her up. So they get married after he wakes up. After she wakes up, her and him get married in the castle, and they live together in that castle after they wake up. When she wakes up, all the servants wakes up. And no, she doesn't decrepit. It's not like she doesn't need to eat or anything because she's been sleeping for like how many years. And the guy just kind of snuck into her house to see if anyone lives there. Turns out there were people living there. And they get married, and he lives in our house, and he's a prince? Right. Is that a marriage scam? That's a marriage scam. They're literally talking about a marriage scam. Okay, those are Disney princess movies. Those are princess movies. Why is it called a princess movie? Because they never actually had to worry about any financial or social problems in their entire life. Ever. They are aware these things exist, but it doesn't directly affect them, and it doesn't matter to them specifically. They don't understand how they have anything to do with those things. That's why they're called princesses. They're like, these social things are affecting everyone, and you make an impact just by your existence alone. And are you doing anything to remedy this situation? The answer is no, because they're like, I don't actually know these people. I don't really care. I just want to do my own thing, and I don't really, you know what? I don't actually ever have to worry about money or finance or finding people to help me. I never had to worry about that kind of stuff before my life. You know, like, I never actually had to be in a place where, like, nobody wanted to help me out. You know, that kind of stuff never happened to me. And I'm like, yeah, because my parents were, like, very wealthy. At least they slaved away for most part of their life, so that I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Yeah, because that's why they were working, so I don't have to worry about that. So now that I'm like that, it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life, but, like, yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever, because it seems fun. I don't really know anything. Yeah, that's a Disney princess, and Disney princesses are like, oh, hey, like, you wanna hang out and do some weird shit together? Yeah, that's a Disney prince, and I'm like, yeah, those are usually princess and prince movies, except with the case of Mermaid, where she was a princess, Eric was a prince, but again, they're not the same type of people. That's the whole point. Why do you think she's half fish? She's half a criminal. Like, everything she's doing is criminal, but it's not because she wants to hurt Eric. She doesn't care about the fact that she's hurting him. That's the fucked up part. That's the fish. That's why she's half human. You know, it's kind of inhumane, except for the fact that her intention is to get Eric to like her. Because she likes Eric. She likes the fact that he's very good looking. And bonus, he's very wealthy and he has a prince. And she's also a princess, technically. Just lives in a fucking underwater sea world. Bunch of other fish. And other mermaids, other inhuman people. Only people who were opposed to it was literally everybody she knew. Literally everyone she knew, it was like, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't, why the fuck are you doing that shit? Bro, we told you this like a million times, that's not for you. It's not gonna work out. And they were trying to stop that from happening. Guess what ended up happening? She still went after that guy. Right? It's like, that's kind of the point. They're like, this is not working out because he's a man and you're not a woman. Like, you're a fish woman. That's not the same as a human woman. You're not a human woman. Eric's a man, he's a human woman. You're not a human woman. Even if you change your entire body, it's not gonna kind of change the fact that you did that just to marry him, and you're expecting this guy to marry you just because you got clean and you did all that kind of stuff. Do you understand? Like, it's like, okay, you should have done that just so you can get along with other people. You no longer want anything to do with the fish world, the fish people, people who live in the sea. That's what you're saying when you do that kind of stuff, and you're moving on and you're like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, you know? You can't be friends with all those things, still have those people as your social support, and still be human and be married to Eric. You have to make a choice here. Right? Like, your choice has to be either you leave everyone behind and start a new life with Eric, which is a marriage. You didn't want to do that because you kept on making excuses, right? You made so many excuses as to why you didn't want to move on with Eric. Right? Let's say he already forgave you for all that kind of stuff because he's like, oh, you actually really like me, don't you? And he's not going to be a jackass about it, because no one's actually going to be a jackass about it if you actually legitimately like that person. So you're like, I actually really like you, you know, that's kind of why I did all this kind of stuff, to try to get your attention. I don't know if you're gonna notice me or anything. Like, this is a meme, notice me senpai. Like, I didn't know if you're gonna notice me doing any other kind of stuff, but I did it to get your attention because I really like you. I think we should beat it together. And then Eric's like, oh shit, man, what the fuck? And then, like, she refuses to let go of her family, and she has apparently 2 weeks to, like, get him to like her back. Get him to like her back. And what is it that they end up doing? She just cries over it the entire time because she has no idea what human life is like. I'm just like, okay, you have no idea what it's like to live in that world. You don't know how to socialize like a human being because you just turned human, right? You just turned into a, think of yourself as a baby, you just turned one, kind of finally managed to babble some coherent nonsense now. Okay, so now you need to, like, why wasn't that your plan to begin with? Like, I'm gonna be human and learn all that I can from the human world. And then, after that, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna meet this guy that I already saw from far away. I'm gonna tell him what happened. I'm gonna be like, I did that for you. It's really manly what she's doing, but she's like, I don't know how else to go about it. Because if a man was trying to get my attention, that's what he would be doing. But I don't know how a woman's supposed to get a man's attention, so I just do what men do to get his attention. And then he'd probably try to figure it out or just understand it that way. And then, like, I can just, like, socialize and we'll start dating or whatever. She doesn't even know what dating is. He lets her sleep in his house for 2 weeks, and they're like, you got 2 weeks to get this guy to actually like you back. She doesn't even know how to talk to this guy. Right? She's like, blah, 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 do you like me? Yeah. You know how, like, this entire human thing was just for you? As if it wasn't creepy. They're like, yeah, I cleaned up, I did all that stuff just so we can get married. And it's like, I get that you like me, but I don't actually fucking know you. Do you understand this? I just met you, and for you to have stalked me all this way, this entire time, and you don't even want to be friends with me. You're telling me I have to be, now I'm forced to marry you, and you don't even want to be friends or anything? Because she doesn't know what friends are. Right? She's like, it doesn't really occur to her, like, I'm fine with being friends with you, I just really like you, and I really want to be in your life somehow, but it's like, what's the point of me being in your life if you can't have sex? Like, that's insane. It's literally insane. I'm like, what is that? I don't fucking know. Anyway, there's another Disney movie that's popular. There's Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Little Mermaid, Pocahontas. There you go. This John guy comes on a ship, and Pocahontas, she lives in the woods somewhere, and she just, like, sings about trees and winds and stuff. She's a cheater. Sorry, that movie's about a cheater, and she's trying to marry some tourists. That's it. That's because she doesn't have to get. She's a commitment phobe cheater trying to marry a tourist, trying to pass it off as if that guy's a commitment phobe. It's not really a marriage scam, but that's literally what she's doing. And I'm like, what is that? Like, is and her excuse is that she's a savage. Like, she's like, you think I'm a savage, don't you? Because I'm a native here and you're just a tourist and you have all this fancy stuff. And blah 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 blah. You know what? In reality, it's you who's intruding on my land because you know this. You're not actually from around here, right? You just wanted to like see what it's like, and then you're just gonna go back, right? Right? Like, it's just kind of weird though she's saying that, and he's still interested in her. Cause he wants to fuck, man. He's like, yo, this bitch is pissing me off. I'm gonna fuck you. That's what. And that's why it's not an actual marriage scam, because they're not getting married, and it's not a common law scam either, because he actually has feelings for her at that point, and she thinks he's cute. That's what she's getting at that guy. He's like, don't fucking look at me like that. You don't fucking live here. You don't fucking eat here. Fuck off. Who the fuck are you? And the guy's like, fuck you. Literally, I'm gonna fuck you. And then they end up getting, he actually ends up marrying her, dragging her back to his house, like a fucking caveman, the European stereotype, like he's Greek or something. And then she's like, oh, I'm totally not a chronic cheater, that's the reason, I'm single because I'm tired of guys like you coming to my land, I'm trying to defend my territory here, that's why I'm single, it's not because I cheated on every boyfriend I ever had, and no one's willing to date me because I'm a fucking cheater. My fucking grandma who's a tree's been trying to tell you this entire time, but you don't care because she's a goddamn tree. She's a goddamn plant, so you don't care what she has to say. And you don't understand because she's insulting you, that's how she talks. That's why everyone ignores her. She might as well be a fucking tree. And I'm like, bitch, you literally played everybody. How the fuck did you not play yourself? Because she doesn't live there. She's not a native there. Now he drags her back to his own country. He's like, you live in Europe now. You're my wife now. And he's like, I don't actually know what's going on because I just got here. And I'm like in my 20s. I'm in my 30s. And we just got married. It was a shotgun marriage. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. And like, yeah, it's literally because why do you think she's why do you think she sings about paint and wind all the time? Also, as a side note, it's really creepy. People that I haven't talked to in years were tracking me and stalking me because they were planning on raping me or bullying me, and they thought that I wanted to be friends with them after realizing that nobody wanted to be friends with me because they were bullying everyone around me and myself. That's why people are staying away. And I'm like, yeah, I actually have no intention of being friends with you. Never did. And because of what you guys did, and the fact that you're keeping tabs on me just so you can make fun of me and bully me later, the fact that you knew everything that was happening and not at one point did you help me out, right, makes me feel as if I need to send you to prison. Do you understand? Like, you need to go to prison. Like, you shouldn't be out and about bothering regular people. You need to go to prison. That kind of stuff. I'm like, you need to go to prison, like, you need to leave me the fuck alone. I'm not gonna try to make amends and try to make our relationship work because, number one, that's impossible. Number two, yeah, I'd rather have you in prison than be my friend. I know that's the option that they were giving. They're like, either you see me go to prison or we're friends, and I'm like, yeah, I'd rather see you in prison, I'm so sorry. I know, you did not one point did you ever think about me or what I wanted or, like, any of my needs. Only you thought about yourself and did things repeatedly to try to get in my way and interfere with my life. And on top of that, you didn't care about me. You were insulting me the entire time. Thought you were better than me. Thought you were better off without me. But you still wanted to know everything that I was up to, so you can try to whoosh off me when the time's right, right? Like some fucking dirty thief, like a fucking Jew. And then what happened was that what happened? What happened? You're telling me now there's an ultimatum. If you don't fucking be friends with me right now, you know I'm going to prison? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care because we're not friends. And, you know, it's not just because you're not friends with me, it's literally because you already did that kind of shit. So you're expecting me to forgive you for all that, even though you haven't even apologized, you haven't even made amends for it, you didn't even steal, you didn't even give me back all the stuff you stolen from me. And then you lied to me and about me. Everything you told me was a lie. And, like, you just did that so you wanted me to think fucked up things and say fucked up shit about you. And you wanted me to be a fucked up person. I know exactly what you're doing and saying, why you're saying that. Because I'm not an idiot. and then you get upset and offended that I don't want to be friends with you? Are you retarded? So you're gonna tell me all this fucked up shit that's clearly just bullshit and a lie, and then you have to tell me this, right? That I have to be friends with you, otherwise you're gonna end up in prison because it's crime, unless we're friends. And I'm like, you know what? Just I'm gonna let you sit in prison and think about what you did for a bit. And that'll do you good more so than me being friends with you right now. Honestly, it's probably better for you that way. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You know? I'm just like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, does that make sense to you? Like, literally, write out what you're thinking and saying and say it back to me. Like, write out the chronological order of events and what you've done and what's happened. And then write out what is it that you're expecting it to happen. Right? And then tell me if that makes sense to you. Just let me know what is it that you're thinking. And let me know if that makes sense. If that's realistic, if it's idealistic, if it's just completely delusional. Excuse me. But yeah, Pocahontas, a chronic cheater. Yeah, that's a movie. It's just the John guys and them all the white European stereotype. The tourist is like getting pissed off and he just fell for her trick of, you know what? Like this is like you're on our land, and that's why you can't do anything. You know what? Like I'm busy because I'm trying to defend my land from invaders who all happen to be from Europe. Every single one of them are European trying to invade my fucking territory. I gotta fucking live. I can't even build a house anymore because I gotta live in the woods now because you keep stealing from us. Man, get the fuck out. And he's like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. That's not why we're here. And I don't even fucking know you. How can you say this to me? Because he's European, he's dumb. Every time a woman says something, they just get a boner and get go. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the European stereotype. That's literally the Disney Prince movie of Pocahontas. And then Pocahontas is like, I'm not gonna tell you, but I'm actually a chronic cheater. Literally, like, I've cheated on my boyfriends, and every time people try to warn people about that, there's the only one woman who actually knows what's going on, and she's gonna insult you the entire time because she hates you. Because you're European, and European people actually have done that. But you're gonna ignore it because she said something rude to you that you don't like to hear, so you're gonna ignore everything she's saying from that point forward. When in reality, she is just trying to tell you, yeah, dude, you're not actually that great, and she cheats all the time. You guys seem like a very great couple, but you're not even gonna have a legal defense if you actually bring her over there. You know that? And he's like, no, I can do it. I'm a man. And she's like, alright. How'd that end up working out? She ends up going back home like 3 times and marries, like, he has just 3 divorces. Literally, like, I think it was like Pocahontas 1, 2, and 3. In all movies, there's always a different guy she's married to. They all arrive at the same conclusion of just, we gotta get married and go back home now. Oh my god. And then they just break her to drag her back to her. Oh my god, that's so funny. They drag her back, right? He drags her back to his house, and things don't work out. I really wonder why. I guess she's just stressed from living so far away from home, and he's not willing to relocate to live with her, even though they're married. And it's just, at that point, they're like, oh, you know, maybe it's better if you guys separate. You know? When in reality, she's been sucking other guys' dudes' dicks behind his back because she likes to get gangbanged. She likes getting guys running trains on her. And you can't be the man enough to be like, I'm okay with my wife getting gangbanged every fucking day. You know what? The only way she's sexually satisfied is if there is like a group of macho buff men. You know, we're gonna talk about like what Belle, you know, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, guys like Gaston. You know, Gaston, like multiple Gastons running trains on her every week on a weekly basis. With her getting finished off with a fucking gangbang at the end of it, that's the only way I can keep her sexually satisfied, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna oversee all that. He's a cuck. Oh my god. That's a cuck. Yeah, he's gonna cuck for his wife because he likes that. She likes that. That's the only way she's never gonna, like, she's not gonna be in. They're gonna cause her to be infidelity or whatever. Like, that's how she's gonna commit to this guy. If you know what, I'm never gonna cheat on you if you let me have the other guys fuck me in front of your face every fucking day. Oh my god, that is so bad. That's actually really bad. Yeah, Otherwise, you know what, you can, like, I'm just gonna find another guy to fuck me, if just because you're too busy, because you're at home and you have other friends and family to hang out with. When we met on my property, we were doing nothing but hanging out together. It was great. Now I'm going back to your place, I'm fucking bored all the time with all these other guys who really want to fuck me, and I think they're cute, so what the fuck, man? You expect me to say no to that? Thus, Pocahontas, Beauty and the Beast. I don't know. Belle lives in. Her dad's a thief, and all of her siblings died somehow. And only thing she asked for is a rose, and he doesn't even want to buy her a fucking rose. He just steals it, just to get her raped by some fucking man animal. He's an animal. He's an animal. He lives in a castle with nobody else but other servants, and all the servants are objects. Yeah, they turn into objects after he like pissed off some witch, and they all just turn into like objects instead of people, and that's why nobody's really there. And then like her dad stole a rose from his garden. So you know what I have to do now? I have to go there and ask him for my rose back. I didn't let you steal my fucking rose, dude. And then just kidnap, like extort and coerce his daughter into marrying me, and kidnap her in the process. And you know what? I asked her out to dinner by starving her. Literally, I locked her in a fucking room and I starved her because her dad's a thief. That's what she deserves. That's why I did those things. That's what she deserves, okay? And then I actually asked her out to eat dinner with me, and she said no. Isn't she crazy? Oh my god, she's insane. You know what? Your dad stole from me, which is why you are getting punished for what your dad did. You know, because I'm totally not homo, okay? I don't want men in my house locked in my basement. That's fucking gay, man. Okay? So you get punished for it. And then I'm starving you, so you would forcibly accept my offer of dinner, and you said no. Are you crazy? Are you gonna starve in that room? Cause I'm starving you? I'm like, what is that? Thus, he's an animal. He's not very smart. And she's like, oh, don't worry. I'll teach you how to read and like how to be a human being again. And my love will transform you. It just sounds like he's watching TV. Literally, is he watching TV? Is he watching TV all day? It's like, did you just watch an advertisement and talk about as if you were living with some woman when there's literally no one there? Dude, it's just you. Because he calls this woman that he pissed off a witch. Yeah, she came by, asked me for help or whatever, and I was like, fuck off, you stupid dirty slutbag. I don't even know you, and you just gotta show up at my doorstep like this? And then he lost everything, except not everyone, just people just turn into objects now. And then this guy just happened to steal my rose, and I just have to kidnap his girlfriend. I mean, his daughter, not his girlfriend. His daughter, I kidnapped his daughter, and then I forced her to marry me, and that was okay. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, she realized that I can change after actively doing things to change me and supporting me, and then I was willing to do things for her because I really liked her. That's why. This is reminding me of fucking grade school shit again. This is giving me traumatic flashbacks. That's why, man. And then, guess what happened? We got married. I almost died in the middle of it because she was forcibly changing me, and it was just hard, you know, to go through the transformation. But I'm a good person now, and she really loves me for who I am, before and after. I don't know if he's talking about anyone. It seems like he's just mad about a breakup. I think that's what he's talking about. He broke up with some girl and called her a witch and like wished that he was back. There wasn't me. It was like, how the fuck you gonna cheat on her and cry for her to be back, you fucking loser? Yeah, that's that fucking thing. That was so funny. Yeah. That was so funny. Yeah, that shit's hilarious, man. And you don't look at that and laugh. Oh, he's a prince because he doesn't have to worry about money or other people interfering with his social life because he's very affluential. But she's a princess through marrying him, so she married him for his social status. Because she's really poor and her dad is a thief, and that's why he did that. Yeah, literally, like her dad's really poor. He's a thief. They have a really bad reputation in the town, and she can't even find a job. So all she wants, what she does is she just reads books all day, goes to the library, goes to the bookstore, because there's really nothing much else to do, right? Everyone just hates her, and there's one guy in town named Gaston. He wants to marry her and ask her out all the time, but she's not interested, because she is too good for Gaston. Unfortunately. Why? Because Gaston's an idiot and doesn't know how to read. That's really fucked up. That's the part that's actually really, really fucked up. Yeah, Gaston's actually socially, like, she would be increasing her social status just through his affluence, like his social networks, right? And the fact that like there are people who he's very valued in that town. People really like him there. Like, so there's a lot of girls who would kill to be with that guy, right? But he can't read and he's not very good, but he's very personable and he likes to include other people in his life, even if they're not worth including. Which is why that's why he's more valuable than her in that town, because her dad's the opposite of what that is, which is just thief and doing things for selfish reasons. But she's saying no to Gaston because he can't read. He's very illiterate. And the thing is, he's not as rich as Beast, even though Beast is actually worse than that Gaston. So she has a choice between this guy who doesn't know how to read, but it would be a better way for her to get accepted in the town that she's living in and kind of get her dad's reputation back that way, right? Or she can go and marry the Beast guy who's very wealthy and very affluential, and materialistic speaking, he has a very nice house. He, or like, she'd have to teach both of them how to read, right? So like, what, you're gonna put up with some guy extorting you and abusing you because he has more money, so you can teach him how to read and he'll be dependent on you for the rest of his life? Or you can do the same thing with Gaston, except instead of all the money and power, like all the money and nice trinkets and all the servants and maids in the world, you get to live in the town and finally be accepted, and you can have a job, you can live there, you can work and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, you can marry Gaston and your marriage is legitimate and you'll still have to teach him, but everyone really likes that guy and they'll still, I mean, at the very end of the day, they'll still put up with you and you'll find a way to get your dad into being included in the community again. He's not gonna live that long. You could just, do you want take one for the team, Belle? Take one for the team. Whereas the other one is like, oh, I'm literally getting tortured. But yo, the fucking castle, bro, that's literally Belle. She's very materialistic and vain. Like, that's kind of, no one could tell because all the guys that were after her and everyone just hated her off the bat for no reason. Even though like she didn't actually never did anything because she knows how to read. She's materialistic, vain, and she's intelligent. Sounds like a witch. No, she's not a witch. She's very, very wicked. She's a bad person. She's a very bad person. And it's the only way you could tell is the fact that her dad's a thief, but she's a very bad person, and she doesn't know that. And maybe even if she does, she won't even do anything bad about it because she's too smart for that kind of stuff. Which is where Gaston is opposite of her. He doesn't even know it. He does that kind of shit anyway. Even though everyone still accepts him for that, it's just kind of weird. And I think that's how she's playing it off. There's something wrong with the people in that town, and look how they're treating this guy. I know he's like abusing me, but like he's actually like not in a good place. Like he turned into a beast or something, trying to help this guy, trying to heal the guy, and everyone just hates that guy and just want to kill him all the time. It's weird, It's just like, it's not like I'm doing any better, honestly. It's like, you guys act like I'm doing so well, and like you guys don't even want to be friends with me, and then you're weirded out by the fact that I'd rather live with a guy who's abusing me but has nice things than be near you guys who will stop eventually if I marry that guy. That sounds illegal. Wow, what do you want me to do? That's Belle. Yeah. Why do you think she wears that blue and white dress all the time? Yeah. I was forced to talk to this guy that I want to stab in his face today, and it's like stressing me out. I fucking hate that guy. I hate every single one of them from this homeless shelter. I wanted to drop dead like right now. They cost too much money to maintain and there's no benefits. Like trying to maintain a fucking fucked up car. It's like your chassis is fucked up. If you don't even make that model anymore, bro. And like you want me to replace the entire engine so you can like maintain it and lowride it and do all that shit. Fuck you, literally fuck you. I hope you die. You want me to do all that work for what? For what, bro? Literally, I don't even like cars that much. You know, like I'm not even like a car fanatic. Maybe you should have somebody else, you know? What am I supposed to do all that work for? Like, I'm doing all that work and doing all that, and all thing I get back is the fact that I get to talk to you. Ha! Yeah, cause I want to talk to a fucking crackhead with missing teeth and failing health for the rest of my life. I want those guys to be my friends, right? Jesus! Get it together. Oh my god. Oh, her mom dies when she was a baby. Yeah, that part I think is true. I think that's why she's refusing to speak to other people and starting to like read and do all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, she'd be kind of like already with Gaston. If it wasn't for the fact that her mom died when she was a young child. This is me going psychologist on that, but yeah. So that's Disney princess movies. I don't understand why anybody would want to do those things. But the reason why they're prince and princess is because they don't have to worry about affluence or finding social contacts or social connects or putting themselves out there. You know, they don't actually have a need for that kind of stuff. Like some people have a need to have a group of friends, you know, a social circle or some sort of active social life where they're actually socializing every day with other people in person. Regardless of whatever is happening, people like that kind of stuff, right? They depend on their family, they need to talk to people and all that kind of stuff. Not so much for the princes and the princesses, because they have enough material wealth, like there's really no reason for it. Right? It's just like, I'm not gonna try to pool our resources together so we can like defend our resources. What is this, the fucking 1960s? And it's like some fucking Zimbardo experiment? Are you stupid? Like, no thanks.